Day one, we're starting out with the demo. We got a fairly large 32 by 12 composite deck that we're starting out here today. It is hot. It's gonna be hot all week too. I'm talking in the 3-digit temps. So this is the deck that we're pulling out today, me and Antonio. Gonna be preparing our footers and receiving all the material, getting that staged. Join us as we build this 32 by 12 composite deck. All Timbertech decking, Timbertech railing, the aluminum surface mount impressions rail. We got a privacy screen going up here that we have already procured. Really looking forward to this build. So join us as we get this one done. One of the things that you have to really take in consideration is how is the load supported. So if you look here, this deck has a flush beam. This beam right here is pretty much what's holding the whole load of the deck. You see how your joists are running from the house to this beam here? These posts here are holding up this floor frame. So when you're disassembling this thing, it's really important that you don't just go cutting these, because then what's going to happen is the whole deck is going to fall down, and if you're still attached to the house, you could potentially damage the house band. All right, 6 footers have been dug, all about 18 by 18 squared. We dig pretty much till we get solid ground. Some of them, you know, we end up 10, 12 inches deep, but others, we just kind of have to keep digging. Today was a hot day, so we are tired. It is 1 o'clock now, so we're probably gonna cut off a little early and get some good rest, because tomorrow's gonna be a big day.
Go acorn.
At times when we remove the flashing from the band of the house, especially around the doors, the flashing is not done correctly, or it's just failed. When this happens, the band of the home is compromised and usually rots out pretty bad. We inspect the floor frame, which direction the joists are going, because that's going to determine where a lot of that load from the wall is going to be sitting on. In this situation, the load is sitting right on top of the joists. The joists are sitting right on top of the foundation. So we were safe to just cut out this single band for the rim of the floor frame of the home, and we're going to replace this with a pressure treated 2x, and then we're going to put sheathing up over that, and then properly flash this with vinyl flashing. You excited, Dee?
Yes, I cannot wait till this is done.
Dee's excited about getting her new deck built, and we are just as excited building it in this very hot weather. Cool. You think you're gonna be able to do that today?
Oh, cut that and flip it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got to run. What time do you move from?
If we can cut it and get it out of our way, the sooner the better. All right, we went ahead and replaced this band that was rotting out. Having a plumb ledger keeps all of our connections for our joists a little bit tighter, a little bit cleaner. We got our side bands up, temp supported. We got our girder marked out and the edge of the deck. You got the lags We got all of our joist markings. This is where we're going to put the center inlay blocking. We have a joist. We're either going to do flat blocking here to here, or we're going to put a 6x6.
Too big, just me.
So we've got a 3-section girder going in. 32 foot, 5.5 inches, minus 1.5 inches on both sides. And then Brennan came up with a really good idea by scabbing the top, so that way they stay flush on the top. Keeps it held up down here. Then we got another temp support here. Brennan's setting this one up. And we're gonna finish off this run here. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the front side, which then turns it into a nice beam. We're gonna finish installing these joists today and call it a day. This thing tomorrow, we're gonna come in and cut all these joists to length, put the front band on, get all the hangers on that we need to, all the hurricane clips, cut the 6x6s, notch them. The inspector will be here tomorrow, so he'll give us the approval on the footings, and hopefully we can get concrete in the holes by the end of the day. So usually what we do is we clean up the job site real well before we leave for the day, so that way the homeowner can come out and inspect the job, inspect the work that we've done, and not have to deal with a big mess. We take pride in our job site, and we want to show that every day after we leave here. That impression is important to Acorn. All right, I'll show you how we're doing the flat blocking on this one. Pretty much what we've done here is we've got a 2x6 here, and then we send screws every 16 inches into this flat block.
A little sweaty, but can't complain.
Yeah, definitely get that.
That's great.
Yeah, these are super solid. Not as deep as I usually get them, but honestly, they're deep enough.
Oh yeah. Damn. Build anything on
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. So we're good to pour concrete?
Pour, yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
Truck? You got AC in that truck? I got great AC in that truck.
all right, we're putting up the outside band. We've got all of our joists cut. Pretty much how we do that is we pull off the house side and find our total depth. We make a mark on this end of the deck, and we make a mark down at that end of the deck, pull a string line, pop that chalk line, and then cut all the joists one by one while making sure that that cut line is plumb. The next step is by putting this outside band on. You want to make sure that where you're putting this ends up on a joist. Bevel cut at 22.5 degrees. We leave the end long and cut it flush with the outside band here. We send 3 nails into each joist. Also be putting our brackets in on the back ends here. That way it's totally secure. That band is definitely not going to fail. The way we prep to hang our bands, we do our bevel cut here first, and then we put these scabs on top, so that way we can just go ahead and put it right on top here, and it just hangs. We're gonna tape everything up, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll have all of our posts, all of our knee bracing done, all of the taping done up top, and we'll be ready for decking tomorrow. All right, little setback. We had some rain, so Gave us an extra 30-45 minute break, but we're back at it now. One thing we probably might not be able to get done today is the taping, because we need that deck surface to dry. Right now we're leveling the deck, getting the post installed, and gonna be putting up the knee bracing here shortly. It's still raining a little bit, but we're still gonna push through it. All right, we are done for the day. We've been battling the rain pretty much all afternoon, and just decided to kind of work through it in order to get the concrete poured and set by tomorrow. We poured it a little dry on top because we know it's gonna rain a lot. It'll add a little bit of moisture. But we got the knee bracing in. I'm gonna follow behind and put all the legs in place. When we're doing knee bracing, we follow the 1/3 height rule. So whatever the measurement is from the grade to the top of your frame, you're gonna take that measurement and divide it into 3. Whatever that number is, you go down that number and then over that number. And then from there to there is the measurement that you need to cut your knee bracing at. So 1/3 is code for knee bracing. The deck is leveled. The front band is straight. All the blocking is done. Tomorrow is looking good. We'll start on the landing. We'll get that done. And get the butyl tape put on and start decking this thing up. It's starting to come down, lightning, thundering. We are out. See you tomorrow.
Everything is part of the journey. vastness of the sky without attachment. They remind us that everything is part of the journey, passing through, while the stillness beneath remains unchanged, ever present. Everything is part of the journey.
Killing it, dude.
These are what you call scrails. Phillips head and a pneumatic gun clip. These are approved for warranty with Timbertech products. You put your scrails in there like a regular nail gun. Put your little tiger claw right there on the tip. Engage it in your groove of your board, like so. I don't have room to show it here, but you would put it in the groove and pow!
Healthy lunch, healthy mind. Pretty work.
More?
Yeah, a little bit more.
You like that?
Yeah, yeah.
This is called the inlay board. This deck is 32 feet long, so in order to make 16-foot long boards work, we put a board here right in the middle. All these boards are already installed. We run them wild. You can see we've cut this side of where the board's going already. And this side we've left run wild. We make our measurements, snap a line from end to end, and use the track saw. Perfectly straight line, and then we'll drop it in there.
All right, I'm putting up the fascia on the stair stringer here. It hides all this wood framing. When we're building our composite decks, we try to hide as much of that as possible. So the way that I did this, I clamped the fascia onto the side of the stringer. I scribed the inside of the fascia board, like so, cutting out each tread and riser line. Once I make all those cuts, I'll hang it back up here and fasten it to the stringer. This intersection here where it meets up with the band of the outside deck frame, this is always kind of a tricky situation. We try to hide this back ledger for the stringers as much as possible. So we're gonna run it all the way up until it hits this fascia board, and I'll show you how we do that. I got the fascia for the side of the stringer cut and fastened. This is that pretty little cut what we had to do here with the bevel on half and flat. Stringer runs up into the fascia instead of just cutting off right here, which is what a lot of people do. So we got this side up, and I'm getting ready to do this side here. Once I get the treads prefabricated, I'm going to get those fastened, and then I'm going to work on the risers. Let's check on the guys. We got the deck board going in by Antonio up here on the landing. He decided we're going to center a deck board and then work our way out. We noticed that if we hadn't done that, we would have ended up with a little small slither around this primary picture frame that we've got. So the solution that we came up with was centering the deck board and then having a ripped piece on both ends before the picture frame. Very good pre-planning on that, guys. Brennan's moving right along with this picture frame. Looking really good. He's got the joint here super clean. Just got to get the plugs in. He just finished up his last one here. Got a few more deck boards to hang up against the house, and then up here will be 100% complete. We got a little bit more of the fascia to do tomorrow. We got to finish these risers and the treads. But all in all, everybody worked really hard today and we got a lot done. I feel really good about the progress. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Gang, gang.
See you tomorrow. Brendan's working on getting the rail post installed. And just a quick glimpse on how he does this. 2 inches from the edge of the lip, he puts a chalk line down. This chalk line is going to be the center point for his lags that are going into the framing. This chalk line is super important because it keeps everything straight. So what he's doing now before he sends these through is he's getting the measurement between each post face to face. So that way he can make sure that they're all exactly spaced equally.
Making a jig. Little metal clips that go on the post. This is the jig that they come with, or that you buy. You gotta use one hand to hold the little piece of plastic on there and another to hold the metal clip, and then attach it. It's good for positioning, but it's not very convenient. And just step it up a notch with some plywood here. Basically the same thing. Stick this on there, slide your clip in, and it's going to hold it. You can go ahead and send your screws through it. But I got to clean it up a little bit first.
Brendan is the master of jigs. Oh, you're using the top too. Brilliant.
Yeah, this centers it. Is this?
Oh yeah.
Slide that on there.
self-tap-in screws into the 3x3 aluminum post, surface mounted to the decking. Look at that move.
You reach that?
No, I can't reach that. So these are DIY capable rails here. They're not very complex, actually, guys. So let me show you how these rails are installed. It's a pretty simple method here. Once the posts are up, you just clamp your rail. Make sure that your baluster is level. And then you scribe both top and bottom. You can use a circular saw, you can use a table saw, you can use whatever kind of saw you want. You just got to make sure they're nice clean cuts. A lot of the times when we do these scribes, we cut a 1/16 shorter so that way it doesn't scratch our rail post. All right, we needed to get more material for the skirting of the deck, and it has just arrived. My man, hey, I'm gonna move my dump trailer over there. I'm gonna move it forward. You're just gonna place it right there on the grass. Are you picking up as well here today? Okay, yeah, there is some stuff. So this is called a piggyback forklift. These things are usually mounted back in these trucks that come out and deliver material. This one doesn't have the sidewinder capability where it turns its wheels and goes sideways. It's really good for narrow places where these can't get to. A lot of times when they're carrying lumber, this lumber is really long, you know, 20, 30 feet sometimes. And, you know, sometimes you may not have the clearance. So having that sidewinder capability is really helpful. This is the workhorse though. They've had this one for a while. It's been on a lot of our job sites, but it definitely does get the material to us, and we are very thankful. Not having to go pick up material and haul it around all the time does save us a lot of time and a lot of energy. So if your suppliers in your area can drop that material off to you, it'll save you a lot of time. It may cost $75 or sometimes $20, $40 depending on your supplier, but it's definitely worth it. All right, so we got the rest of the material for the skirting that we're gonna do tomorrow. This is the framing that we need for the skirting wall. And we ended up choosing 8-foot rail sections for the stairs because 2 6-foots on one side would have just been a little bit tight. And we took the final measurements yesterday and realized that 1 8-footer will work. So we were very excited about not having to put another post in the middle of that stair run. It's gonna look a lot better, a lot more cleaner looking. The supplier dropping this stuff off is American Cedar. We use American Cedar for probably like 95% of our material. One of the best suppliers in North Carolina. I won't build without them. And in fact, 95% of our material comes from them because they're quality material, quality customer service. My sales representative, Emmanuel, is one of my favorite guys to work with. So you bet.
Big acorn, baby.
Well, it's been a long day and I'm tired, so we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Brandon!
Good morning, Peter. Did the raccoon come and eat all your food last night?
We try to get all the dogs fed before we leave the house so we can put all the food away.
Hey, come on. Come on. Good morning, Rebecca. Come on. Hey. Go. On the bathroom.
Good morning. We are back on site for our final day of install. Plan is to finish the riser boards that we were short on and finish the rails and then get all this cladding done today. So the site is very wet. Yesterday we did not make it to the job site because of a huge storm rolling in. Now, a few things that you want to consider when dealing with a wet site. Make sure you don't track any dirt or mud up on the deck. You can prevent this by laying down some kind of ram board on the deck, or any kind of like thin plywood works as well. But really want to prevent anything from getting up there, because you don't want to scratch any of those deck boards or cause a huge mess that you have to clean up after the install.
Hey, Brennan. Morning. We want to rip our riser to the total rise between the top of the deck board and the bottom of the deck board, which is 3/16.
Quality is absolutely 100% the most important thing to focus on. The second is speed. But that only comes with experience. If you don't have experience doing what we're doing, you could end up screwing up material, making the wrong cut. Consistency is critical, and when you speed up, sometimes that consistency starts to fade. So ideally, you want to focus on your quality, your skill trait will then allow you to speed up as you progress. Don't expect to be the new guy on a job site without doing this kind of work to be the fastest or the best. It's just not going to happen. It takes hours, days, weeks, months, even years to perfect some of these techniques to where you don't have to think about things when you're doing them, and they turn out beautiful. We pulled from the bottom of the girder because there's a 16th inch gap here between the girder and the 6x6 post that we don't want to put a deck board on top of, because that's going to kind of skewer it out a little bit on the top. So what we decided is we're going to do the deck board basically right underneath the girder, and then we have an inch gap between each deck board. So we measured the width of the deck board and then popped the chalk line. And then now we have a reference point to start our first deck board layout. I'm making the jig that we're going to use for the spacer. I don't know, like, what do you think? We need 3 total?
And so we pull from the top down to the same measurement, which happens to be 52.5 on this particular build. And we'll be pulling this as our starting mark for all of our cladding.
What a day, what a day. July 3rd, and we tried to get this one done before the holiday weekend. July 4th runs on a Friday this year, and unfortunately we're a little short of that goal today, but I'm still very pleased with where we are, considering the amount of work that it's taken us to get to this point. Everyone's been busting their butt today. Brandon's got the stair rail install done on both sides. It's looking really clean. The privacy wall is up, and the last section's going in. We've got a 2-foot rail section that's gonna go here. We were just shy of running this whole span, so we came up with a really good solution by having a small little handrail here, so that way when you're going around this 180, you have something to hold on to. It's kind of one of those happy accidents that worked out really for the better. The cladding is coming along. We still have quite a bit of finishing to do on the cladding wall. We're going to be covering up all these nail holes with decking board running vertically every 3 foot. We're putting our last cladding board up on this side here. We're going to be doing corner trim just like you would see on a regular house. It's basically going to be a split of a deck board here and here covering up these joints. We're going to have one in the middle here, another corner. You see the inside corner that we got done. But this is a fantastic look. I like the fact that this cladding wall doesn't really follow the stair line here. It follows the frame, the girder frame.
I think everybody protects the sound.
So it's a really good look. It makes the stairs pop even more, I feel. So here you can see pretty much what the finished product is going to look like. We still need to put the plugs in. And here's where we're going to build our 32-inch wide gate. We're going to bring it in here, and then we're going to do a return back to the house. Yeah, very happy. The client is also, she is ecstatic. Once we discussed doing skirting, she originally wanted to do lattice. I quickly talked her out of lattice because with a deck like this, lattice is just a little bit outdated. So we went with the deck board cladding. It's kind of expensive when you think about the material that you need in order to do it, but the product that you get, the end result, speaks for itself. What's that?
That's porch.
Thank you.
That is an upscale deck.
Upscale builders here. It's amazing seeing all this come together in the last week and a half, right? The neighbors love it. packed up, and I'm out of here. I'll see you guys Monday, and we'll be buttoning up this thing, and I'll get you guys some final photos. This has been a long, grueling project, but it's been a really fun one at the same time. The client really has invested a lot in this deck, and you can tell. We are very pleased to be the ones to be able to provide the service to build her this beautiful product. She's gonna enjoy this thing for a long time. But we are ready for the next job. Good morning, it is Monday and our final, yes, I said final day on site. Brendan got here this morning, went ahead and put up that handrail, kind of like we planned it to be there, right? But this is good because now you'll have something to hold on to as you come around this corner. I got Antonio cutting up the outside corners, the inside corners. We'll be sending those in and then just buttoning up all those little corrections that we have to do, so that way we know once the engineer gets here and inspects our final product, he'll be a happy camper. Klein tools. You really screwed up on this pencil. You don't have enough space to pull the pencil out of the holster. You end up pulling the cap off every time. Horrible design. Hopefully we see a 86501 or 86500-1 for a revision of this thing. I don't know how many times I pulled off the damn cap to this thing. Yeah, dude, it's so clean. Yeah, it is. I'm glad we did that. I'm glad we did that. That's a much better look. Looks like you're moving and grooving. Oh, that's smart. I'm gonna keep getting these things prepped. All right. If you're doing that, I can get on this.
I know the stakes are good over there and they worked over there, but I was trying really hard to avoid having to have stakes. And so if it's all tied in together in one box right here, over here, isn't just going to be, because I got framing that way, gate this way, and all of that is going to be dependent on a stake. And with this being tied together and then tied to the top and bottom here, this whole corner down here is going to be a lot more rigid and a lot stronger.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'd say go for it then, since we don't have that 6x6 to bury here in the ground. Yeah, it's just a lot less framing that we have to do, but I see what you're saying. Since we don't have that 6x6, it's the only way we can get it done today.
And I already got them cut, so I'm just going to be nailing them up.
Boom.
I'll get it jumped up. I'm really confident in my framing abilities. Playing nice with me. I'll tell you that.
All right, I am on my way to American Cedar. Looks like we had some kind of mishap with the rail, so I'm gonna go grab another one from American Cedar so we can replace that. Definitely don't want to have something like that as an end result product. I'm gonna head over there now. You'll get to meet Emmanuel. I'll pick up this rail cover, come back, and get that thing replaced. Shit happens. And oftentimes it's out of your control. Somebody on the job site accidentally dents a rail or scratches up a deck board that was already installed. Don't sweat the small stuff. At the end of the day, what's important is your client is happy with the product that they hired you to provide. Just fix it. Even if it costs you a couple $100 or no matter what the cost is, your reputation is far more important than saving those extra couple dollars. Do the right thing. Make it right. What's up, Emmanuel?
What's going on?
This is my sales rep, Emmanuel. He takes good care of us.
Always a pleasure.
That's right. Thanks, Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
This is the piece we need. Yes. Oh, man, what a lifesaver. This is where they store a lot of their material. Out of the sun, out of the elements. It's some of the best ways to keep material that way. When it gets to the builders, it's all still really, really pretty. So if you're buying from any kind of local suppliers around you, go visit their warehouse facility. Go see how they take care of their material before it gets to you. It's one of the most important things is making sure when you get your material that it's in good shape. What I love about their showroom is you can actually see and feel the material before you commit to it. It's not just looking at tiny samples. They've got full-size displays, finished examples, and all kinds of products laid out so you can really get a feel for what your project could look like. The wood here is all top quality. This isn't big box store lumber. It's straight, it smells amazing, and it holds up beautifully outdoors. Whether you're going with a clear grade for a clean modern look or something more rustic with character, they've got it all. They also have a great selection of profiles, tongue and groove, beveling, siding, decking, timbers, and they'll actually help you match things to your style and your budget. Super helpful if you're a homeowner doing research or if you're a builder like me trying to show options to a client. The staff there knows their stuff too. They're not pushy, just people who know wood and know all these different products and want to help you get it right. So yeah, if you're in the planning stage of a project, I highly recommend checking them out. It makes a big difference when you can walk into a space like this, ask questions, and walk out with real confidence in your material choices. What I like most is that they understand outdoor living. So the doors and windows they carry aren't just about looks. They're built to handle the elements. A lot of them come pre-finished or ready to stain, and you can get options with built-in screens, tempered glass, energy-efficient coatings, all of that good stuff. They've also got sliding doors, French doors, fixed picture windows, basically anything you want to open up your space and bring in natural light without compromising on durability. If you're already working with me or planning to, let me know and we can stop by the showroom together, pick out some options,
and make sure it all ties into the overall design of your project.
Glenn's my man, man. Every time I come here, it seems like he puts me in a good mood and I put him in a good mood.
He puts me in a good mood. I'm never in a good mood.
He is awesome. All right, back to the job site. Always a little stressful when dealing with these things because it's like so tight. Let's go make a coffee.
That'd be real slow.
This thing could bite pretty much at any point because of how flimsy this thing is. So that should do it. We'll put her back on and move on to the next task. All right, a little bit longer today than I expected, but when you take pride in your work, that final product, that last day is really important. You know, you just start looking at everything with a very detailed eye and you just want to make sure you don't miss anything. Well, we are done. We're finally done. And we are cleaning up at this job site for the last time. But I do have to say, this is one of my favorite decks that we have built to this day. I think it has a lot to do with the cladding wall. I think it has a lot to do with that privacy fence. But everything really did come together so well on this job. I'm very pleased with it. It seems like all the neighbors are too. I'm already getting phone calls, which is a good sign. But we're wrapping up, so after we get done cleaning up and everybody heads out, I'll go ahead and get my final shots and you guys can take a look and see just what it is, what we've been working on this past 8 days. I don't know, I think this is 9 days. I don't know, I gotta look. Either way, we're done!